If we must criticize, we will not shy away from that. We will only criticize to build and not to destroy. This is in the service of God and country. It is the Black Porter, aka Kuku Shudamo. Oh my God, have mercy. And in the Black Pot, we keep it real. Yes, as we take it from the newsreel. Today, my brother, my sister, quickly, I would like to look at something very important. We had our elections. The by-election in Kumewu only yesterday. The NPP overwhelmingly swept the polls. More than 70% of the votes all went to the NPP candidate. I want to say congratulations. But it is a dented image on our democracy. And I'm so sad. We saw vote buying. At the same time, we saw some level of intimidation. We saw how people were bussed from their homes all the way to the filling stations. And if this was done in the spirit of just democracy, it would have been applauded. By bussing you and make you promise that you are going to vote for a special candidate. We also saw how some people who were too fragile or old to vote demanded that somebody help them vote for a certain candidate that they wanted, and they were denied this franchise. My brother, my sister, it's a dent on our democracy, and it hurts me so much. My brother, my sister, the other day, school children were coming from school. They had to sit in a certain canoe. The canoe overturned, and 9 of these children died like chicken. So sad. The school was closed down. What has government done to improve the situation of the little children going to school in the area? Now you live in one community. Before you get to school, you have to use a canoe. No life-saving vests. School children died and the school was closed down. What did government say about this? What did the education minister say about this? What did the education ministry say after this? Ghana schools of shame. My brother, my sister, is government now going to provide water transportation for school children all over the country who have to leave their homes and go on rivers and dams and other such water bodies in order to get to school? Will we provide water transportation? Would we not? Is this a civilized country? Children go to school and they have to cross rivers and dams and other such water bodies to get there. And the government does not care about that. Private canoe men are those who are carrying them to and fro on the dangerous water bodies with no life vests. We wait until children die, then we come out and we blame it on our dead ancestors, and also blame it on old men and women who we call witches and wizards. My brother, my sister, how am I linking this to the Kumewu debacle? Simple. Was government not supposed to provide transport for those people who are aged to be able to go to the polling stations and vote? Were we not supposed to make it comfortable for them? Did we have to let candidates do that on their own? Did they do it at a certain cost? Who paid for the cost? At the end of the day, democracy is demeaned in this country. It's a shame to that election there in Kumewu. And if we do not take steps to deal with some of these things, we would only tickle ourselves and laugh at the wrong places. How can you call yourself a democratic country? Then you go around and bribe people with cans of rice. You go around and bribe people with just 20 Ghana cedis and ask them to sell their birthright to you. It tells you how cheap our people are. It tells you the level of education of our people. It tells you that the average Ghanaian in those areas is not up to the task. How poor is the average Ghanaian in these areas that they need only 20 Ghana cedis and a cup of rice in order to sell their future and the future of their children to a certain candidate? My brother, my sister, it hurts me every time I see our politicians doing this dirty job. Some other politician, for several months, he had not paid his workers, but he had enough money to go around doing our Hunter projects. And I look at some of these politicians, I shake my head left, right, and center, and I say, these are crooks. My brother, my sister, they demean our citizenry. They have no respect for our people. They know that every election, a cup of rice is enough to buy them votes. And if this is what is called democracy, I never want to be part of it. Are you not sad that this is where our democracy has reached? A man who has not paid his workers for 17 months, 19 months, has all of a sudden been able to conjure some money through Kanjori. He's going around doing a Hunter project. And all he can say is that, oh, there are businesses that are supposed to be taking care of themselves, but they have failed. So if they have failed, and you have enough money to do such philanthropic projects, who should the money go to? Is it not the workers who have failed? Does it have to go to people who you don't know at all? It's all because of the votes. Now, after they failed, the project has come to a halt. Wait until another election comes. Ghosts will come out of their graves and start this dirty vote buying thing again. It's a shame on you, Kumau. Shame on you. All those who bought votes. All those who did all they could illegally in order to be able to sway the minds of voters. I leave it here. The next thing I would like to look at. Yesterday something came out and it said that China is now going to be given access to our gold. China is going to be given access to our mineral resources and so on and so forth. Why? All because Ghana failed to pay China the so much money that it owed. It irresponsibly was rather running to Beijing, telling the Chinese people that we are so weak and silly. We have mismanaged ourselves and mismanaged the country to the point that we have become so useless that we can't pay back loans that we benefited from. So the Chinese people should kindly free us because we are silly people who have no common sense. In fact, if you owe somebody and you can't pay, and you'll go to the person and tell the person that he should forgive you your debt, instead of asking for more time to be able to put your shoulders to the wheel and make things happen, you are a useless person. It's one reason I hate debts. It's one reason I don't borrow anything from anybody. It's one reason I don't like it when I have to call somebody and say, give me 1 penny. No! I would always be indebted to you. There were people in the past that I owed money. I paid them 4 times. In fact, without realizing that I had paid 4 times. I'll call you back and say, oh, I owe you this amount of money. I paid. The next day, I'll call you on the same thing because I had forgotten that I had paid you. Because of that, I don't borrow. Now, if you live in a country that is ruled on borrowed money, my brother, my sister, this is where we find ourselves. When the president was running to the German ambassador and begging him to go all the way to China and ask the Chinese to forgive us our debts. Remember, it was on this same show that I told you that it was a free visa to the Chinese, to our gold mines and other mineral mines in this country. Did you remember that? Do you remember that, my brethren? On this same show. Sometimes I wish I could play back some of these things that I say. I told you, you don't need a prophet to tell you that. As long as you are running to China to ask the Chinese to forgive you your debt. You think the Chinese are a charitable country? No, sir. They are here in the country doing galamsey. We also Aisha Huang running in and out of this country. At the end of the day, we were told that she was married to a Ghanaian. Oh, what a people. Anybody can bamboozle us using our own laws. And we had lawyers defending an urchin like that. For money, a lot of our citizens will sell us out. Our leaders have no common sense. Our leaders do not respect protocol. And what do I mean by protocol? I'm talking about customary intelligence, traditional intelligence, cultural intelligence. I'm talking about honoring our ancestors who held the fort all this while to be able to see us through. Today we have no respect for them. Today, my brother, my sister, any idiot can rule this country as long as he can borrow. Any idiot can rule this country, my brother, my sister, as long as they know their way to the IMF and the World Bank. And it hurts me when I look at some of these people who say they want to be presidents. I'm shocked. What do they take us for? People who insulted our intelligence in the past. People who have never shown us any respect. People who are only kind when it's time to vote. People who themselves are not intelligent. They are those who are seeking to rule us. What has happened to the great men of this country? What has happened to the wonderful minds of this country? Everybody's running out of this country. They are all running to the land of opportunities. They call it America. Today, when people receive an American visa, they go to their churches and celebrate. They have big parties to celebrate a visa to America to clean toilets and wash plates. Yet, when we are able to discover minerals in this country, nobody celebrates. Nobody celebrates our ancestors. Yet we celebrate a common sticker that we put in our passports called visas. How many people receive a visa and they do not even want their fathers and mothers to know because they suspect witchcraft could stop them from flying in the next plane to America? They wait until they arrive in America. After a number of months, if you are lucky, then they call you and say, oh, the other day I had to travel impromptu. I'm in America right now. All our ancestors are witches and wizards. All the old men and women in Africa are witches and wizards. We have no respect for old age anymore because old age has sold out. When we were all voting for Nana Akufo-Addo, we put it in our minds that all people are so tactful, that all people are so honest. Until Nana Akufo-Addo became president, I never knew that there are some old men who were very, very corrupt. I never knew that there could be some old men who were dangerously dishonest. I never knew that there were some old men who were very, very utterly arrogant. Today, Nana Akufo-Addo is the epitome of arrogance. Nana Addo has hit the zenith of corruption. And when we look at it, it hurts me as a Pan-Africanist that I keep making children in this country who are going to inherit this dirty government legacy. Today, China is coming here. They wanted to do it using a Japa. We fought against a Japa. Now they have twisted our arms by going to the IMF and running back to China to tell China that, hey, listen. We wanted to give you a Japa, but our people fought against it. Now we owe you. We have gone to the IMF. We are going to use these conditions to still give you a Japa. So that is what is happening. So right now, your country is soon going to be colonized by China. Like Jamaica has been colonized by the Chinese. Very soon, all your children are going to have Chinese names. Kwame Ching Huang, Mensa Huang Hu, Akosua Ringzong. All these names are now going to be your names. All your chobas and Sunyamiye, don't mind your wife. Abisuan paying restaurant, shop bar would all close down and Chinese restaurants would be all over the place. Now you will learn to eat thalia with chopsticks. Now those who said that Blakk Rasta makes funny songs, and we told them that they were drug addicts, this is the time for them to understand. Today that song, Tai Chi Mi Chai Cho, PCI Shefo, Foa Shefo Foa, Foa Foa Shefo Foa, will make sense to your idiot selves. No brains. You see where you have landed? When visionary people sit back and think and make music, idiots cannot think further. Today you see, that song was made 15 years ago. 15 solid years ago. Today it is the most relevant music in Ghana. You woke up early this morning and you were told that Chinese people are coming into this country to take over all your mineral resources. The mineral resources that was used to name your country, the Gold Coast. Today, you are selling out your birthright to the Chinese. We sang this 15 years ago. Brainless drug addicts sat back and said, oh, these people, he's always making funny songs. These are the funny songs. They are funny to you. You are backsliding into slavery. You are boogieing back into slavery. You are singing your intelligent, serious songs into slavery. You are dancing mezob back into Chinese slavery. Oh, hallelujah. Where are the people? When we make songs, we are guided by the Holy Spirit. When we make music, we make it because we are supposed to make the music. Listen to that song again. Today, that is what is happening. Yesterday, a number of people were calling me, left, right, and center, even at midnight, sending me messages. Oh, now this song even makes more meaning to us. 15 years ago. Some of you at that time were even still wearing pampers. 15 solid years back. This was prophesied. It has come to pass in your lifetime. I don't need your apology. I just pray that God heals you from drug addiction, arrogance, foolishness, and tomfoolery. To God be the glory. I was going to tackle another thing, but I'm not going to tackle it. I'm going to play back that song. So that song that is a funny song continue in the fun, whilst the Chinese are chaining you back to Guangzhou. Continue in the fun, whilst the Chinese is chaining you back to Beijing. You will eat thalia with chopsticks. You would eat cockroaches and frogs. Get ready to eat cockroaches and frogs. Get ready to eat snakes. It's a funny song. You will eat funny food. You're not serious. Yeah. My brother, my sister, that is what it is. This is the country we live in. Hey, listen, right now people do not listen to music. They watch music. They don't listen to music. They watch music. If you don't put people with big buttocks and put big breasts in your videos. Now, I have seen people who will not even listen to the music. They mute the TV and watch images. So music is now watched. They don't listen. How can your music grow? How can your music grow? To God be the glory. We leave it here. And I'm going to play you back that song. And then you are going back to Guam.